Hi, everybody. Dan Illman and Mike Beer, the DRFBets race of the day for Wednesday, October the 9th. Race number 7 at Keeneland. We're going a mile and a 16th on the turf. The Grade 2 J.P. Morgan Chase Jessamine Stakes. 2-year-old fillies. Before we get to the analysis, I want to remind everybody, Keeneland clocker reports for the entire fall meet available at DRF.com. Mike Welsh and his team of expert clockers take you through the morning workouts, and they grade each and every one. Now available, DRF.com/Keeneland. Here's the field for the Grade 2 Jessamine, perhaps a prep for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf Race. You can access free formulator past performances for this race on the Race of the Day event page at DRF.com. Download them, handicap along with us. Couple of American Pharaohs in here, Mike. Couple of Warfronts in here. This should be a very competitive bunch. A typical Keeneland graded stake.
Yeah, I agree. It looks, like a fairly wide open race. I thought there were a few different horses who could certainly win this race.
Let's take a look at the Timeform U.S. Pace Projector. We were expecting a fast pace, although always difficult to predict 2-year-olds and how well they're and how quickly they're going to go early. Jezebels Kitten, the number 5, expected to make the lead, but she was certainly capable from off the pace last time out. I wouldn't be surprised if Florent Giroux takes back a little bit. The 11 Swanage does have speed. I'm expecting her to be on ascent from the outside post.
Yeah, it feels like her hand might be forced a little bit from the outside post. I agree with you about Jezebels Kitten, too. She has plenty of speed, but she probably ran better without the lead last time.
Number 1 is Morning Gold. 10-1 on the morning line certainly seems fair for Morning Gold. It was bet down to 17-10 last time out in the Pocahontas on dirt, and she just didn't take to dirt as well as she ran on turf in her first 2 starts, because she ran very well both times in her debut, chasing a slow pace and an experienced horse in Sweet Milania. And then this performance at Saratoga, where she was able to get to the lead, she backed down the pace, but I like the way she really finished off strongly.
Yeah, I like the way she finished this race, too. I guess in a lot of ways her trip was pretty soft once she got to the lead. But I like the way she finished. To me, it looks like as they get down inside this final 16, like she even has more to give in this race, Dan. I find it hard to believe she's going to be 10-1, but if she was, I would take it.
I don't believe she needs the lead at all, and she draws a fantastic inside post position with a short run going into the first turn. She should save valuable ground and must be considered a contender. The 2 is Envied, one of the daughters of American Pharaoh. 2 starts, 252 buyers, 1 stakes placing at Louisiana Downs. Lasix on and tactical speed.
Yeah, I thought her debut was good. She got a perfect trip in that race when she ran down Swanage, but she was pretty game to do it. I didn't love her last race. I wanted to see her improve last time, and I don't think she did, but she gets Lasix this time. Number
3 is Fujairah, who has certainly improved since being switched to turf and stretched out around 2 turns. Her most recent race, the Sharp Susan Stakes. Now, she was 1-2 that day, and as they turn into the stretch, she has a clear lead. So some might say this is kind of a disappointing loss, but it appears that the one that runs her down, Onyx, she's a pretty good one and might be heading to the Breeders' Cup.
Yeah, she is pretty good, and she had a good setup in this race, too. She's going to close in this race to get it done after Fujairah had to contest the pace a little bit. I don't think this was a bad performance at all.
Number 4 is Indoshine, going out for Chad Brown, one of the Warfronts in here. $470,000 yearling. Just found that debut distance a bit too short, I think, at Saratoga, going 5.5. She stretched out to a mile last time out, and she really appreciated it. Let's go back to the maiden win for this one. I thought this was a rock-solid performance for the 3. Indoshine in the 2 path right now, and she grinds down the leader.
Yeah, it's not an impressive win, Dan, but you could just tell that she was going to win this race from about the top of the stretch. She was always going to get there. She doesn't do it impressively. She's not flying at the end, but she handled the stretch out. She wins fairly comfortably. She had trouble first time out, I thought. I wouldn't take a short price on her, but she's a contender in here.
The aforementioned Jezebels Kitten, versatility thus far in 2 starts for trainer Brad Cox. Gate to wire at Ellis Park. Last time out of Kentucky Downs, she won a fast race. The juvenile fillies, and it looked like for a second she was very uncomfortable. I thought down on the inside and was going nowhere, but once she swung to the center of this turf course, just watch her take off on this field. She passes the leaders pretty much in a blink of an eye and settles it very quickly.
Yeah, this is actually pretty impressive right here. She's going to get to the outside, and with a rush, she's going to go right by these horses. She's actually ridden out at the end of this race. I thought her debut was good, Dan. I thought she took a significant step forward in this race. To me, she's going to be pretty tough to beat in here.
She should be, especially as we mentioned, with that tactical speed. She's got a fig. Brad Cox Really can do no wrong in 2019, clicking at about 27%, especially with a lot of high percentage stake sources. Sweet Milania we talked about, she took care of Morning Gold in her turf debut, but she was able to relax on a nice, easy pace that day. She came back in the P.G. Johnson Stakes, Mike, and we're going to turn into the stretch. She made this 3-4 wide bid on the far turn, and she's going to take the lead, and it looks like she's on her way, isn't she? She's on the outside in the blue silks. She's making the front, and I'm not sure if this is a disappointing loss or if that horse that runs her down, Cristal, is that good. I have a feeling it's the latter.
Yeah, that's the way I looked at it too. I actually felt like Sweet Milania ran pretty well in here, and I think she really improved off of her debut, or turf debut. Whereas you mentioned she's got a pretty soft trip on the lead. I thought she took a big step forward in that race.
Number 7, Take It Back, did not take a big step forward in start number 2. She was a maiden winner at Kentucky Downs. She wheeled back at Churchill. She showed some good speed, and she just tired that day. I think she's a better filly than what she showed last time out, but she's going to have to improve. She'll be a big price.
Yeah, I agree with that. I thought her debut was pretty good. Her last race was very disappointing.
Looks like the 8 Wittez is moving the right way. This is a more than ready filly for Ian Wilkes, who really likes to take his time with his young horses, gives them a start or 2, or in this case 3 to get it done, and she did get it done in start number 3 at Kentucky Downs. They turn into the stretch, and Wittez just ran a solid race again. She's the number 4 in this spot. I thought she got a very nice trip. She eases out and she runs them down. From a buyer standpoint, she needs to improve significantly.
Yeah, she does. She got a good trip there. So I like that she showed a little more positional speed this time. And once she takes it over, it's actually a very easy win for her. I did not think she ran poorly two back when she couldn't get the Jezebels Kitten on the lead. But she was making up some ground at the end of that race. She's just improving with every race, I think.
Fast pace would work in her favor, and we have a formulator fact for trainer Wilkes over the past year with last out maiden winners on turf, 30% winners, a $3 return on investment. The 9 is Diamond Sparkles. This one made her North American debut for Marcassi in the Grade 1 Natal Stakes. And Mike, I just didn't think there was any pace going on in this race. And then they turn into the stretch. Diamond Sparkles was last on the rail turning into the lane, and she's now second from the left on your screen. I don't really think she gets fully clear. She finishes evenly. She gallops out well. She's going to get a much kinder pace scenario this time around. I think she's a very logical horse.
I think she is too. You're right about this race. You can see the 3 in front of her right now. They were just on the lead together the entire way. They'll battle it out. And Diamond Sparkles just can't really make up any ground on them, but she's trying the entire way. They went a pretty slow pace early in this race. I thought she was compromised.
Mark Cassies has a formulator fact for Diamond Sparkles. Past 5 years, 2-year-old graded stakes turf routes Keeneland, 38% winners, a $4.79 ROI. Perhaps we'll see continued improvement from the 9, Diamond Sparkles. The 10 is Soothsaying, debut winner at Ellis Park for Bill Mott. I like the way she won this race. A little green, but as they turn into the stretch of this race, this lemon drop kid filly, Bill Mott, not known for winning first time out. He can win with first time turf routers. I thought this filly did okay.
I thought she ran well in here too. I especially liked the fact that on the backstretch, you could see a rider start to take her to the inside like he was going to sit, and he almost immediately changed his mind. He just carried on with a run. She really never actually got any kind of a breather in this race. She ran the entire way, and she finished it off at the end, and now she gets Lasix. If she's over 10-1, like the morning line suggests, I'm going to use her.
Runner-up came back to win. We have a Mott formulator fact, a positive one. Past 5 years, 2-year-olds on turf, last out maiden winners like Soothsaying, 42% winners, and a positive return on investment. The 11 Swanage, we talked about her as a likely pace factor in this race. Now, she got to the lead on a day where you wanted to be close at Kentucky Downs last time out. We turn into the stretch. She kind of got loose in the early portion of this race, took a little heat the middle part, and then finished it off. Was she flattered by the track, or was she just better? I think it's a combination of both.
Yeah, I do too. I think the trip really helped her as well, because she got relatively loose on the lead early in here. Not that she hadn't run okay in her prior couple of turf starts. I thought she ran pretty well in those, but I'm not so sure that she improved as much here as it may look like she did on paper.
Tough post position for the number 12, High on Gin, but she's done nothing wrong from 2 lifetime starts, and she successfully stretched out around 2 turns in that Happy Ticket Stakes at Louisiana Downs. We're going to watch that race now. Envied, who's the number 2 in the race of the day, is going to finish 3rd. High on Gin just looks very strong in the stretch.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like the way that she finished in this race. It was a pretty nice performance for a horse who was making her first start on turf. and first start stretching out, but you see her go to her wrong lead and then change back. She's a little bit green in the stretch, but she actually ran in this race.
Eye of a Soldier is the number 13. She raced against males in her career debut, going a 2-turn mile on turf. Not easy to debut going 2 turns. She acquitted herself quite well. Then she ran away and hid from a bunch of off-the-turf fillies last time out. Tough outside post position. You love Tim Hills.
She looks like she's got some ability. This is not a good post position for her, though.
Ask Bailey is the number 14. She chased Jezebels Kitten in vain last time out, but she didn't break very well, and she came with a rush. She's the kind of filly that just needs to kind of work out her trip. She's got the right jockey. Corey Lannery, you got to think is going to break. Take her back to last, save as much ground as possible, and hope for the best.
Yeah, so far in all 3 of her starts, they've just taken her back and let her run through the stretch. So maybe the outside post won't be as detrimental to her as it could be if she had a different running style. I actually feel like she's run well in all 3 of her starts, and if she had a better post, I'd be way more interested in her.
There are some very promising juvenile fillies in this year's edition of the Grade 2 J.P. Morgan Chase Jessamine 200 Grandeur. Let's take a look at our top selections. I think Diamond Sparkles just gets a better pace setup than the one she saw at Woodbine last time out. As you mentioned, she seemed to be trying hard all the way down to the wire. Let's see if she gets some kind of a trip. I used your top pick third. I went 9, 5, 1, and 11.
Yeah, I thought Morning Gold could get a really good trip in this race, especially considering she's outposted a lot of her rivals in here. I just like her races, Dan. I like her first 2 turf races quite a bit. I'll take her. I hope the morning line holds up. For me, it was mostly her and Jezebels Kitten, 9, 10, and 14 with them.
It is an excellent edition of the Jessamine. It's race number 7 at Keeneland. It's your DRFBets race of the day for Wednesday with an approximate post of 4:24 Eastern. Best of luck.